Again, I welcome you all in RC Design class. In previous lecture, I had discussed the theory of uh, slab. Now, in this lecture, I shall discuss the design example of 2A slab. So, here the one problem I have considered: design panel 1 of size is 3.2 meter into 4 meter and 4 sides are supported on 250 mm wide beam. Live load is taken as 3 kN per meter square. Use grade of concrete, use M20 grade of concrete and Fe 500 steel. So this panel is supported on 4 beam and size of panel is 3.2 meter into 4 meter, means this is a clear dimension. Okay, this length is 4 meter and this length is this is a clear distance. Okay, face to face, inner to inner distance is given, and one this floor this panel is shown here. This panel is supported on 4 beam. Now this edge means the longer this edge is continuous, this shorter edge is continuous. Okay, this shorter edge is continuous and this longer edge is continuous, whereas this edge is discontinuous, this edge is discontinuous. And you see that live load given 3 kN per meter square. If the live load is not mentioned, only the type of building is mentioned. Okay, either residential building or public building, then as per IS 875 part 2 is for dead load. Okay, part 2 for residential building you consider 2.5. okay, and for public building, this is for residential building, and for public building the live load you consider 4 kN per meter square. If the data are not given, means the live load is not given, only type of building are mentioned, then you consider for any type of building you consider, say a residential building, and consider live load 2.5 kN per meter square, and for public building the live load you consider 4 kN per meter square. If the data are not given, so generally the data is given, so there is no problem. If the data are not given, because in some cases the data are not mentioned, only the type of buildings are mentioned. So for residential building you consider 2.5 kN per meter square live load, and for public building live load you consider 4 kN per meter square. And accordingly this edge is continuous, this edge is continuous, this edge is discontinuous. Okay, this edge is discontinuous. So similarly in step 1, find out effective depth from overall depth of slab and diameter of main bar. So to get the effective depth you have to assume overall depth of slab and diameter of main bar. So let us consider the overall depth of slab is 125 mm. So generally for because this depth is depend on load and span, but the standard practice is For residential building, generally the standard depth is 125 mm is considered. Okay, although it depends on uh, load and span, and also use 8 phi main bar both ways. Okay, the main bar diameter is 8 and the reinforcement we apply in both direction, means the longer direction and shorter direction, and reinforcement is placed at right angle. Okay, then right angle and one above another. Now find out effective depth. As you know that the slab is 2A slab, because you need to design the 2A slab, so and the two reinforcement are used, means the longer direction reinforcement and shorter direction reinforcement, and also you need to compute two moments along longer direction and shorter direction. So you need to calculate the effective depth along shorter direction and longer direction. Now the clear cover you consider 20. So this is the cross sectional view of our slab, of a typical slab. Leaving the clear cover, the bar is placed. This bar, first you place the bar along the shorter direction, then just over shorter direction bar you place the longer direction bar. Okay, this is a cross sectional view of a typical slab. Leaving the clear cover, so we calculate the effective depth along shorter direction. So how much? The overall depth is how much? 125. Then subtract clear cover. Okay, clear cover is subtracted, then minus 8/2. Okay, because the effective depth is measured from the centroid of the steel. Similarly, dy, again so this is for dx, then the dy is measured from the centroid of the steel to the topmost fiber. So 125 is the overall depth minus clear cover minus diameter of shorter directional bar, then half of longer direction bar, so we get 93 mm. So we are getting the two effective depth which are used to compute movement along shorter direction and along longer direction. Because in beam only the one movement we consider, so that's why the effective depth is 1. Okay, one effective depth is considered. In the 2A slab, the two movements are computed, two movements you have to calculate, so that's why the two effective depth comes. Next you calculate effective span. So we get we need to find out the effective span using the Codal provision. As code said, width of support, because this is a continuous slab, the slab is continuous, so width of support is how much? The support width is given 250 mm, which is less than 1/12 of clear span. Okay, as it is mentioned in code, you see that in continuous beam, go to page number 35, IS 456/2000. In the case of continuous beam or slab, if the width of beam support is less than, slab is supported on beam, so width of support is less than 1 by 12 of the clear span. So that time the effective depth shall be considered, shall be as in 22.2a. Here the 22.a, so similar to simply supported beam, simply supported slab, center to center distance or clear span plus effective depth, whichever is less. Now we calculate the effective span. How we get 3.2 into plus 0.1 101, clear span plus effective depth is shorter direction, effective depth is 1 mm, so we get the effective depth 3.301, or center to center distance between support. 3.2 is the clear distance, clear span, plus plus the half of the width support from the left side and half of the width support from the right side. So just you add, we get the 0.250, get the 3.45 meter. So hence, as per code said that least value has to be considered. So Lx is how much? The least of two values, 3.301. Similarly, effective span along longer direction. The 4 is the longer span, clear span, and add effective depth or the center to center distance, so 4.25 meter, whichever is less, so hence the LY is 4.093 meter. So we compute effective span using the following the codal guidelines, which is given, which is mentioned in clause number 22.2. So the slab is continuous. So for continuous slab, the provisions are given. We check the provision and accordingly we calculate effective span along shorter direction and effective span along longer direction. In step 3, we calculate load, how much load is acting to the slab, so that we calculate, and from after that we apply the load factor, multiply the load factor and get factoral load. Then those dead load and live load are combined, and then we compute bending moment along longer and shorter direction. So dead load is calculated self weight of beam, so this is a permanent load, so this load is under dead load, treated as dead load. Depth of slab is how much? 0.125, and this is a RCC slab, so we multiply unit weight of reinforced concrete. The unit weight of reinforced concrete is how much? That is 25. So 25 is multiplied, we get 3.125 kilonewton per meter square. It means the per meter square, the 3.125 kilonewton load is applied, okay, due to self weight. And the next is floor finish load, that is 1 kilonewton per meter square. Consider floor finish means, so after casting the RCC slab, we apply the different we apply the different flooring materials like marble or tiles, so so you can get the actual load of floor finish, but approximately we consider, we assume the floor finish load, whatever floor finish you use, it is not more than 1, so 1 we consider. Okay, the floor finish, because the tiles or marble or anything else uh, you may apply, you may use. So 1 kilonewton we have considered, and that is also a dead load. So the total dead load is how much? 4.125. So floor finish load, always it is fixed 1, always you consider. So we get total dead load, that is 4.125 kilonewton per meter square. Next, the live load. Live load is given 3 kilonewton per meter square. So after that we combine the load. This is the dead load and live load is combined as given in table 18, and apply the load factor. So the load is combined, you get the 7.125 kilonewton per meter square, and next this combined load is multiplied with the load factor, and we get the design load. WD is the design load, is how much? 1.5 of dead load plus load, and we get, and the design load is how much? 10.7 kilonewton per meter square. The table given in page number 68 for the combination. In limited design, the combined load is considered and factor load is considered, factor combined load, and for dead load, live load, the factor load factor is 1.5. So after estimating the load, how much load factor, how much design load comes, how much design load is subjected, so that we have determined. So after determining the load, we compute the moments using the Caudal formula. The Caudal formula is mu is equal to alpha W Lx square, where alpha is called bending coefficient and W is design load per meter area and Lx is shorter span. It is given in page 90. You take the Caudal formula, the alpha W Lx square. Now the using the formula, we compute the moments along shorter direction and longer direction. The boundary condition of panel 1 is what? This is two adjacent edges are discontinuous. The panel is like this. Okay. So these two edges are continuous. These two adjacent edges are discontinuous. And the what is the aspect ratio? The aspect ratio is 1.24. So it means it is less than 2. So it means the slab is 2A slab. Now we finding we compute the bending coefficient using table 26. Okay, for this ratio, the positive the coefficient along shorter direction and along longer direction. So alpha x value is 0.047. How you get it? You see that your Ly by Lx value is how much? This is 1.24, 1.24, and the edge condition is panel 4, case 4, two adjacent edge edges discontinuous. So the value should be within 1.2 and 1.2 and 1.3. Okay, so this is an intermediate value between 1.2 and 1.3. So the linear interpolation is carried out. Okay, you see that negative moment at continuous edge is 0.060 and 1.3 0.065. So linear interpolation is carried out. Okay, so means you see that if the 1.25, then how much? This is approx 0.063. Okay, so in this way the linear interpolation is carried out and get the exact value of 1.24 or 1.24, how much negative moment coefficient, how much coefficient, so that you calculate. Now using the table 26, we get the value 0.063 and 0.047, the positive coefficient for span, in span the positive coefficient, and at support, the support region, the negative coefficient. Similarly, because here the positive movement took place, whereas in the support region the negative movement took place. Okay, here the negative, here the positive. Okay, because the bending moment, you know, this is the bending moment diagram. Okay, for continuous, span movement at the middle and the negative movement at support. So that's why two coefficient comes, because this panel is continuous. Here this panel is continuous here, so here the negative moment is developed. Okay, so the negative coefficient we get from the table 26. Similarly, along longer direction also, the coefficient we get from the table 26. You see that for all values of Ly by Lx, for the all values of Ly by Lx, the coefficient given. So here the value is 0.047 and 0.035. Here again the mistakes here made in IS 456, that you note, this is not continuous, that is discontinuous. Okay. Now you see that alpha y value 0.04. So the longer coefficient is computed for all Ly by Lx values. Next we calculate short span moment using the formula alpha x w Lx square. So alpha x already we have we get from the table 26. W is known, that is a design load 10.7 kN per meter square. Then Lx is the shorter span, because to compute the movement, the shorter span is considered for shorter direction movement as well as longer direction movement. Now we get the movement 5.47 kN meter per meter width. As I have mentioned that when we design the slab, we consider 1 meter width. We calculate movements per meter width. Okay, considering the 1 meter width. For the convenience in calculation, the 1 meter width is considered. So that's why if you multiply it, the unit is this unit is how much? Kilonewton per meter square, and into meter square. then we get kilonewton. Then we, on the numerator, we multiply meter, and denominator again the 1 meter we multiply, so we get the moment per meter width. Similarly, we get the short span moment. Is how much? 7.34 kilonewton meter per meter width. Long span moment, using this formulae, alpha y is already computed. Alpha y we get from table 26. Put the value of alpha y here. W is known, Lx is known, so we get the moments, the positive moment and negative moment along longer direction and shorter direction. So you see that we are getting the short span moment, the positive moments, short support moment is always negative, long span, short means here the short moments, negative moments, long span moment positive, long support moment is negative. The maximum value we consider, that is a minus 7.34 along shorter direction, the support moment. So the maximum moment occur along the shorter direction and in support region, and maximum span moment also occur along shorter direction, that is 5.47 span moment, maximum span moment. So for this moment we apply the steel at bottom, and for this moment we apply the steel at top. This is for bottom. For span moment, reinforcement is applied at bottom. The codal provisions are shown here using the formulae mx and my, and using this table 26. Now in step 4 we determine the thickness of slab using limiting condition or balance condition. So maximum bending moment is considered because the lower moments are automatically satisfied. So the maximum moment is considered. That's why the maximum moment is considered to compute the depth of slab. So use this formulae, the limiting the balance condition formulae, to find out to obtain the limiting effective depth and limiting overall depth. So use this formulae, which is given in IS 456/2000 and page number 96. The XU max by D value we get from page number 71 for different so the moment and reinforcement is calculated per meter width. So B is equal to how much? 1 meter. You know that in beam we consider the actual beam is considered, but in slab we calculate moment and also determine reinforcement considering per meter width. So that's why the for the convenience 1 meter width is considered. So that's why the width of slab we consider 1 meter. So in this expression D is 1000, and so from this expression we get the minimum or limiting D is how much? 52.4 mm. So it means this minimum D you have to provide to sustain the load safely. So this much of effective depth you have to provide. Okay, this is a minimum depth you have to provide. So the reference given page number 71 and 96. The same result can be obtained using the handbook SP16. You know that SP16s are used for the quick calculation. So using the SP16, the grade of concrete is M20 and grade of steel is Fe500. So using the table D in page 10 for grade of concrete, and this unit is Newton per millimeter square. So that's why this value, this is 7.34 kilonewton. So that we convert to Newton. You multiply 10 to the power 6, then 2.66, B again it is 1000, and we get 52.5 mm. So the exactly almost the results are almost same, because this table is prepared from this equation. So that's why the results, both results are same. Now next, the D provided is how much? 93 mm, which is greater than D limiting. So as greater D is provided then D limiting, hence section is under reinforced. In note, it's a thumb rule to make the section under reinforced, but it is a good practice to check the under reinforced condition later. If D provided less than D minimum limiting, then you need to increase the depth and load calculation is done accordingly. Okay, if D provided is more than D limiting, then what you do? Then you increase the depth and load calculation is done accordingly. Here B is considered 1 meter. The unit value of width of slab is considered to calculate moment and reinforcement. So this point you note, in slab the moment reinforcement is calculated per meter width, and the unit value of width is considered. Next, another point you note, that reinforcement is calculated. So we are in the previous slide, we compute the moments along longer direction and shorter direction. We find out the reinforcement. We determine the reinforcement only for maximum span moment and support moment. Okay, and what reinforcement will come from maximum span moment and support moment, that we apply in both direction. Okay, so the automatically the less movement are also automatically satisfied, because for maximum movement we are getting the reinforcement, and this reinforcement is applied in lesser movement also, so automatically it is satisfied. In the step 5, we calculate area of steel, determine area of steel in step 5. First we calculate area of steel along shorter direction, and the negative movement is considered negative movement means that is a hogging, and steel bars are placed at top. Okay, the bars are placed at top. So using so as the section is under enforced, so we can use this equation, this under enforced equation given in code. Now from this equation, now the again we use the simplified formula which is derived from this above equation, and this is a simplified formula to get the moments, to get the reinforcement, to calculate to determine the reinforcement. So always you use this simplified formula. You remember this formula to find out area of steel. So where R is equal to mu by Bd square and the unit is Newton per millimeter square. So we calculate R is 0.72 Newton per millimeter square. So mx, the negative shorter direction maximum support moment is how much? 7.34 Newton meter per meter width. Now all the values are known. So now we put all values, and we get PT by 100 is how much? 0.0017, and PT is 0.17. So PT, you know, the PT expression is 100 into AST by BD. So this is 0.17. So AST required is B is 1 meter 1000, 171.7 millimeter square per meter width. So the diameter of main bar is, we consider 8 mm. So diameter of bar, which is denoted by A suffix B and pi by 4 d square. The area of bar 50.24 millimeter square. So the number of bar is required. AST required by area of single bar. So we get 3.41 numbers per meter width. I mean in 1 meter width, 3.41 number 3.41 number reinforcement bar is required. So the spacing required between bar, how much? In 1 meter, the number of bar is 3.41. So the spacing between the bar, this is the spacing between the bar is how much? So the 1 meter divided by 3.41, so we get 293.2 mm. So you may use following formulae to compute spacing of bar, which is derived from above. Simply you put the value, this 3.41 means AST by AB, so we get spacing 1000 into AB by AST. So the spacing between the bar, how much? 293.2 mm. Let us provide 8 phi at the rate of 130 center to center. Although this spacing comes, but we provide 130 center to center at top. Code set, I mean the two code set that the distance between the bar shall not be more than effective depth or 300 mm, whichever is less, whichever is smaller. So is provided as per code 3D or 300. So we check it, and this is hence okay. So you see that lesser spacings are used, although it comes to 93.2 mm, but we provide 130 because to increase the connectivity with beam, and also to also to make stronger, and this is standard practice. So generally we provide 130. In Livingston method this value, the large value comes, but in Workiston method it was observed that lesser spacing comes. So the standard practice is, so we provide 130 center to center to increase the strength as well as to increase the connectivity between beam and slab. So for support moment, which this 8 5 at the rate of 130 center to center, which is placed at top in the support region, I mean in both direction, longer and shorter. As we have mentioned that maximum we are finding the reinforcement considering the maximum moment, and the lesser moment the same reinforcement are used. So using this formulae we calculate the area of steel, which is the this equation is for under reinforced equation. So using, as the section is under reinforced, so we use this equation to obtain the to determine the area of steel. Similarly for span moment, again it is the maximum moment we have considered, which is the developed along shorter direction. So determine area of steel at span along shorter direction. The sagging movement took place, so the steel bars are placed at bottom, and also in longer direction also the same reinforcement are applied, because the along shorter direction the maximum movement took place. So using that formulae, we similarly the value 5.47, the required steel 131.3 millimeter square per meter width, area of bar 50.24, number of bar required 2.61 numbers per meter width. So spacing per meter, how much? 383.1, which you may use this formulae to find out the spacing. So let us provide 8.5 at the rate of 150 center to center. So those bars we placed at bottom in the span region, and the provide spacing which is less than 3D or 300. So hence okay. You may use simplified formula to compute area of steel. So summary of reinforcement, this is very important. In span region we provide 8.5 main bar at the rate of 150 center to center, both ways, means the longer and shorter. Okay, in both ways reinforcement are placed, okay, at bottom. In the support region, as the negative moment is developed, so we apply the reinforcement at top, and the spacing is 140 center to center both ways, longer and shorter direction at top. You may use SP16 to compute area of steel to verify results in support region. So one example we consider, support we consider. So how we verify the value, or you may use SP16 to compute area of steel. So how you get it? So just I show you. So this parameter is required, mu by bd square. Okay, the unit is Newton per millimeter square, and this is 0.72. So from SP16 table 2 page number 48, for 0.72, which is between 70 and 75, so the for grade of concrete, grade of steel 500, grade of concrete is M20. So the intermediate value linear interpolation is, so we get the PT value. So the value, the AB by D square value between 0.70 and 0.75. So we get the corresponding steel doing the linear interpolation. Using table 2. So the same 0.174. So you check it, so which is exactly same as we get from IS 456 2000 code. So in step 6 we check the deflection. The deflection limit is given, allowable deflection limit is given in page number 29. The allowable deflection is for continuous slab, the value is 40. So for high strength deform bar, the above value is multiplied with 0.8. So we multiply it and we get the value. Allowable value is 32 for continuous slab. Next, to check the deflection, always shorter span is considered. So this point you note, and it is also clearly mentioned that shorter span has to be considered to check the deflection. So the provided is L is the shorter span 3301 and D provided 125. D is the overall depth. So we get 26.4, which is less than allowable is 32, hence okay. So we verify the deflection using the codal provision, and we check the allowable deflection limit. The provided D is the what D we have provided, so that is less than allowable, hence okay. Next we apply the torsional reinforcement. As it is torsionally restrained slab, so we have to apply torsional reinforcement, and the provision given in clause number, the provision given in IS 456 2000. So it is mentioned that corner reinforcement has to be provided over a distance from the edge means from the edge over a distance, how much? Lx by 5 distance in both direction, meshes at top and bottom. Okay, such type of meshing are done. Top the right angle bars are placed. So how many layers are used? 4 layers. So just U-shape bar, you see that this is 1 layer, this is another layer, 2 layer, then 3 layer, and the 4 layer. So each layer consists of the 0.75 AST. which is the STX is the maximum span moment. So 0.75 times STX, the reinforcement we apply in each layer, and the how many layers are used, 4 layers, and the distance is Lx by 5, which is measured from the edge. So this distance is Lx by 5, and this is meshed over in both direction. Meshes are done. Now we find out the spacing of torsional reinforcement, which are used in 4 layers. Now you see that S main, because the 0.75 are used, so the S main is equal to if I apply 0.75 ST X, then spacing also 0.75 times. So S main is equal to S star into 0.75, or S star is equal to, this torsional spacing is S main by 0.75, or just simply because for torsional steel 0.75 ST are used, so the spacing also accordingly reduce, accordingly increase. So the S main by 0.75, so 150 is the spacing we provide for in span. So the torsional spacing is by 70.75, we get 200 mm. This is a simplified thing we have used, as the 0.75 used 0.75 AST. So the spacing is 150 mm at the middle, so 0.75 just we divide and we get 200 mm is the spacing. So S main is 150 mm. Let us provide 85 at the rate of 200 center to center both ways at each corner over the area 660 mm into 660 mm, which is Lx by 5. Now here we draw the reinforcement details. The plan views are shown. You see that at middle, this is a span region. In span we apply reinforcement 85 at the rate of 150 center to center. Okay, and this torsional reinforcement we apply 85 at the rate of 200 center to center, and this is 4 layer in 4 layer, and the over a distance Lx by 5 measure from the edge. Again the curtailment is done. So this is a sectional view, sectional details of RCC 2A slab. You see that here in the middle portion the reinforcement is 150 center to center. This figure I have prepared in AutoCAD. So at top the reinforcement 2 layers 2A reinforcement in the longest direction as well as shorter direction. So the reinforcement is 130 center to center. Now again the curtailment is done, because in this portion in the span at top there is no reinforcement. So here you see that here the reinforcement is curtailed. Here it is not required, because only here only you need to provide at top, but the bottom steels are not required. But this the minimum steel you have to provide to make the connection with beam. So so here the 50% steel we cut. Okay, so here the alternate bar is cut, so it means the here the spacing is 300 center to center. If I cut alternate bar, in the previous slide just show you, if this is a spacing 150, so at bottom here what is the spacing? One bar is cuttle, one alternate bar is, this bar is cuttle, again this bar is continue, so the what is the spacing? The spacing is, again this bar is, so the at support at this spacing is how much? 300. Okay, although this steel is not required as per the bending moment, because at support negative moment developed, no positive moment, but this steel you have to use to make the connection with beam. Okay, otherwise the connections are not made properly, and the connection is weak, will be weaker. And the top steels are used. Again this steel, the length of top bar, this will extend up to 0.3 L from the face of the support. Similarly at right side also the depth of slab is 125 mm. Here the another sectional views are shown. You see that here the steels used at top and the steels is curtailed, because here the no positive moment, so only to make connection with support, the reinforcement are used. So here the curtailments rules are given in code. So you know, the already I have explained in continuous beam why the curtailment is done. Curtailment is done basically to reduce the reinforcement depend on bending moment at the section whenever it is required, and curtailment is necessary to fulfill economic criteria, which you can make the cost effective where the steels are not required. So unnecessarily we are not using the large reinforcement. So according to the bending moment diagram, according to the shear force diagram, according to the bending moment diagram we apply the reinforcement. And also you have to think that the connection should be strong, and that's why we follow the IS 456 rules, and we apply some reinforcement at bottom also, although it is not required in the support. As per code, 50% bottom reinforcement is curtailed at 0.15 L. So using this rules, using the codal rules, we curtail the reinforcement from the face of the support. At top, reinforcemental bars are extended 0.3 L from the either side of the support. Okay, so from side of the support again the bar is curtailed. So the codal provisions are given here, so you just read it. This is a view I have drawn. So from AutoCAD this figure is taken. The beam here, because slab is supported on beam, the reinforcement we apply at top. Here at bottom also we apply the reinforcement, although it is not required, but to make the connection this bar are used. And the alternate bars are curtailed. So if the spacing is 150, so here the spacing is 300. And again this spacing is how much? 130 center to center. And where the bar is curtailed, this is 0.15 L from the face of the support. So here the alternate bar is curtailed, so the spacing is 300 mm comes. Similarly at top also we apply the steel 130 center to center, and the scale is 1:25. Now the one assignment I have given is assignment 6. Design a slab of size 4 meter into 5 meter, and 4 sides are supported on 300 wide beam. Live load is taken 2.5. Boundary condition is one shortage discontinuous, and grade of concrete and grade of steels are mentioned, so that you have to design, and also you have to draw the reinforcement details either using AutoCAD or by hand sketch. Also you can do following the scale. Next another topic I want to discuss, that when you know the design procedure properly, so after that you can make a computer code, I mean in Excel or in MATLAB or in C language. So when you know the design procedure properly, so after that you can generate a computer code. So using computer programming you can design it. So you can design any member, just changing the data we can get the reinforcement. So there is no need of detailed calculation. So here we have prepared one, I have prepared one computer code in 2S lab for 2S lab design in Excel sheet. So just I show you how the sheets are prepared. You see that this is a I have prepared in 2S lab. For 2S lab the computer programming are done, computer codes are formulas are used, and we have I have prepared the design of 2S. So you can also prepare. Okay, if the time permitted, then I will show you how the programmings are made for 2S lab or any design. You can make a general program. So this program are used for design of any beam, any slab. Okay, so here you see that the parameters, so only I am changing the parameter. The parameters are SOTA span is 3.301. just I changing the data, and automatically the other things are automatically updated. So SOTA span 4. I think 4.1. So choose the from drop down list, you choose the grade of concrete, that is what we consider 20. So 20 is given, I choose the 20. 500 is chosen. Then diameter of reinforcement, choose 8. Then choose 8. The fire resistance 3 hours. Okay, now span to depth ratio, this is a for beam. This ratio also you can consider. You see that for cantilever 7, simply supported 20, continuous 26. So we get the effective depth so this is 125 mm. So automatically the effective depth comes 86. Unit weight of concrete given 3.13. Load you have to automatically the load is calculated. Floor finish that we consider 1.0. Partition no load, this is also 0. Live load is 3, so automatically design load comes 10.7. So bending moment, each condition of slab. So here the each condition, check the 7-9 cases we have considered. So the case number 4 to adjacent is discontinuous, so automatically the moment coefficient comes and linear interpolation also made and the moments are calculated. So you see that 7.5 is the negative, 5.71 is the positive moment, so which I get in the manually also we get same results, we get 7.58. so this is 53.28 comes, so it is hence less than 26. Okay. Similarly the reinforcement also comes, okay, using the formula. All the provisions are given. We change it, spacing provided, this is 130, 150, 130 and 150. So you see that deflection are also automatically checked. When it's okay, torsional reinforcement comes, spacing provided. So I here change it. This is 200 I have used. So number of layers 4. You know that torsional reinforcement are used in 4 layers. So finally the all things are given, and X direction reinforcement. So I have, you can check it, 130 top, and the bottom reinforcement is 150. So sorted direction, okay. So if you are interested, then I show you how the computer codes are developed for the designing of members. So manual checks, manual designs we have made. Again after that we also design slab using the Excel sheet. You can also you may use the C program, C++, Java or MATLAB you may use to design the. So only the changing the data, just you get the result, okay. So here I end my lecture, and you finish the assignment. So I give you deadline. So this assignment you have to submit, and if you have any doubt, any confusion, you can ask me or you may contact to me. So the number you know, so you can contact to me. So here I end my lecture. Thank you.